And welcome to another live stream watch-along reaction. Tonight we're watching and reacting to Charlotte FC versus New York City FC, MLS 2025 Cup Playoffs, Eastern Conference quarterfinal, Game 3. Of course, the series is tied 1-1 because that's how these work. NYCFC won Game 1. They lost on penalties in Game 2 at their own house. So, yes. They lost on penalties at their own house, but they beat Charlotte in Charlotte. We'll see what happens over this Game 3. The winner, whether it's on penalties or through 90, moves on to the next round to play Philadelphia Union. The loser goes to Key West. Cancun still sounds better. Either way. Charlotte FC contra New York City FC en la MLS Cup Playoffs. Conferencia cortos de final, partido 3, serie empate 1-1, ganador esta noche en las penales y partido avanzar de la conferencia semifinales contra Philadelphia Union en Philadelphia. Ahmad, the Dodgers won, yeah. Him and Blitzo. No, they're going to go to my room. The ones that don't get on the rack will go in my closet, and the ones that are on the rack will go on my door in my room. I don't think you could hang the rack to that wall, even if I wanted to. Well, unless I had like a... Well, no, that would not make sense, because it's like two silver things. Either way, no. How we doing, Sean? How we doing, Sun? How we doing? It'll get there. I just got here last night. Trust me, there will be decorations. Slowly but surely. Also, $700. Anybody? Either way, don't worry. In the room I'm actually staying in most of the time. On that door. How we doing, Henry? The basement of my new place. Y'all actually don't listen, do you? Y'all actually don't listen at all, do you, when I talk about personal things or hint at them? You really don't listen, do y'all? Maybe that's a good thing. But either way. And good. With that being said, good game tonight. Roberto Mora's getting called up in the November friendlies. Well, he should. Could have played the U17 World Cup. It's been said up like over and over again for like the past 2 weeks. Bullshit. Bullshit. Either way. Just about the moving itself. But either way, starting 11s are as follows. Let's leave that at that. Starting 11s are as follows. For Charlotte FC in goal, we have Christian Kalina, the back four of Nathan Byrne, yes, Tim Ream, Adelson Malanda, and Harry Tofolo. Midfield three of Brant Bronico, Ashley Westwood, and Jabril Diani. And the front three of Kerwin Vargas, Idan Toklamati, and Wilfred Zaha. And the back, starting 11 for NYCFC, we have Matt Freeze, the back five, Hannes Wolff, Tavon Gray, Justin Hack, Thiago Martins, and Kevin O'Toole. The midfield four, Maxi Morales, Aiden O'Neill, Andres Pereira, Fernandez, and up top, Alonso Martinez. How we doing, Rory? Let's read Suns. Ooh. New Caledonia might be... You might have called some, I'm not going to lie. Either Japan's U17 team is not as good as the main team, or you're actually on to some with OFC maybe having 2 spots. But then again, y'all made me look stupid with this Scottish League, or partially did. So who knows? Maybe you were on to something. I don't know. And sooner than we thought. Maybe you were on to something. That's my thoughts there. I really can't call this game personally. I said NYCFC is going to win the tie or the series. I may be wrong. We're going to find out. 90 minutes or penalties. We're going to find out. There it is. Boom. All right. Here we go. I think I'm moving here to Oaxaca. I've been here a month, and when I feel like when I go back to Cali, it's going to feel different. Yeah, when you spend a lot of time in one place, it's going to feel different. Like, yeah, no, I totally understand that. So be it. Oh, there we go. I was like, oh, don't tell me. But, I mean, yeah, if you spend a month somewhere and then travel back to where you live, it's going to feel different. Same as, okay, there it is. I was like, this TV wilds out a little bit. Sometimes, with that being said, like, it feels different sometimes. Like, understandably so, but, you know. Mm-hmm. How we doing, Rory? John Cena tournament opponents announced on SmackDown. Just hadn't even started yet. Think we'll get a surprise. Called it just like the Scottish Premiership. At least I admitted this one a little bit easier, I guess. When I'm not happy, it shows. When I feel angry, it shows. Let's just put it like that. Go Hearts. I called it in Japan beat Morocco too. Well, fair enough. Series been tight. Expect no different tonight. Yeah, I agree with that. This is going to be... It wouldn't shock me if this goes to penalties. Like, we're going to see who advances on penalties 2 out of 3 matches. Charlotte is slightly better on penalties, though, I have to say. Christian Kalina's damn good at saving penalties, I'll tell you that. Maybe New York doesn't want this to go to penalties, but New York won outright in Charlotte game 1. So either it's a tight game where they win, either wins, but this may go the distance. This may go the distance. Didn't the second game end up being a penalty shootout win for last year for Charlotte over Orlando? Matt Freese is pretty good at penalties too, but, you know, as the Gold Cup showed in last year's playoffs, well, more of the offense did their job there. Did you hear Liga MX wants to do Liga MX best of 3 for Ligia? Oh, Lord. Oh, Lord. MLS could get away with it. Liga MX, though, there's a lot of history there. And how, like, which round? Like, how long is it best of 3? Like, the whole way until the final? Or is it... It makes you wonder. MLS could get away with it because they don't have a recognized playoff system, first of all. Second of all, Kalina in goal. We'll get that. Tofolo, Ream, Malanda, Byrne. Diani, Bronico, Westwood. Zaha, Toklamati, and Vargas for Charlotte. But again, MLS get away with it because they never have had a playoff format be recognizable. The closest maybe was the 2-leg format, the knockout 2-leg final. But Matt Freese in goal, Kevin O'Toole, Justin Hawk, Thiago Martins, Tavon Gray, Perea O'Neill, Wolff, Morales, Fernandez, and Alonso Martinez up top for NYCFC. So I'm saying a back 5 was a lie. But Liga MX is, well, the repechaje was recently added, but 2 legs, 2 legs, 2 legs, 2-leg final the whole way. They have it plus minus the repechaje, which understandable, but that was more of a COVID thing that became a regular thing that's getting trimmed and maybe even taken away. Christian Kalina, the player to watch for Charlotte, won the penalty shootout with a game-winning save. Not surprising. So I don't like it. I don't exactly like it for Liga MX, but awesome. Hopefully, like, won it, like, early afternoon, 1 evening or something like that. if I'm reading that correctly. But good. North Korea is doing really well in the Women's U17 World Cup. Like, North Korea's in the final. Didn't expect that at all. Yep. Kalina's been pretty good at penalties. Yes. The center back, Alfie, his name's Alfie, right? Alfie Jones? I think my finger's on it, but I've heard about it, yeah. That he was like told by Liam Miller, hey, you're Canadian, let me call the Canadian Soccer Association and get their eyes on you. But hold on, let's make sure I'm right. It's Alfie some. I think it's Alfie Jones. Be interesting. Alfie Jones, yep. And then I found out that Liam Miller figured out he was Canadian and at Hull. And then Jesse told him, or Liam told Jesse about Alfie, and then yeah, I heard about that. It'll be interesting though. It'll be interesting to see how he does, for sure. Yeah. Both teams played great. Liga MX little by little's going the American sports format route. I blame the Leagues Cup. I blame some, because guess who's working a lot with Soccer United marketing? Guess who did? Liga MX, exactly. I think we know who to blame. I think we know who to blame. The play-in. Marty was protecting Dobesh, as he should. And also the media did as well. I can understand that, weirdly. Understandable. Like, I can understand that. I wouldn't say I agree, but I understand where you're coming from. Yeah, I know. I saw Aguirre was up for best FIFA manager. I'm like, what? How? I'm like, how? What? Vasco is up? I did not get it at all. I'm like, what are you? What? Who voted for that? Like, who got him to top 7 or whatever? I'm like, okay, that's bullshit. That's bullshit. Who? What dumbass? What dumbasses voted for him? Right now, Matt Freese. Matt Freese is the better goalie. Matt Turner he made a horrible move going to Europe. And I think Matt Freese, just as Matt Turner accepted, I got to go back to MLS to be the starter at the World Cup. Matt Freese made a damn move to be the starter for the USA when it comes to the World Cup. I think right now Matt Freese is the better goalie. You barely, let's be real, you barely hear a Matt Turner. Even though he came back to the Revs, you barely hear about him. Like, he hasn't, and the Revs have been trash. Let's be real. But you barely heard anything from him. Like, they don't talk about his saves. They don't talk about anything when it comes to him. Recently, since he came back, it's been about 2-3 months. Now it's the off season. His team didn't make the playoffs. Here we are. You know, it's that type of stuff where it is what it is. How we doing? I'm sticking with NYCFC winning the tie. I feel like they're going to do what they did a week ago or 2 weeks ago and win in Charlotte. They know how to do it. They just did it. They could have easily won at home. They did not because they lost on penalties. But we're about to get going. Right now, though, he is not the starter for the USMNT because he barely got any time playing in Europe. He barely played at Arsenal. He barely played at Palace. Lyon fell apart. I mean, it's kind of his own. He should have went to a club that would give him more playing time, but he didn't. He thought he's a big Arsenal fan. He grew up an Arsenal fan. So, realized a dream, another dream of his, and then he went to Crystal Palace, and Forest didn't want him either. Yeah, he went there too. Who could forget? Him and Gio Reyna both got screwed by Forest. Pierre-Luc Lazier, the center ref tonight. Daniel Radford, the VAR referee. So. I did not see what Chelsea players got nominated, but I'm sure a lot of them did because of the Club World Cup. Gio Reyna and Yunus Musa will be in MLS within the next 2 years. Gio Reyna, yes, I totally see that. Musa, though, no. I think Yunus Musa will still be in Europe within the next 2 years. Reyna, though, no, he'll definitely be in MLS within the next 2 years. And that's his fault. Do with that what you will, though. And we're about to get going in Charlotte. Charlotte FC to kick off. They're wearing their white jersey with gradients and the blue back. NYCFC wearing their black jersey. No, I haven't seen it. I know they didn't call up Ochoa, though. Yeah. I agree with that. You've gotten a bit more positive, haven't you? 30 seconds in, 0-0, settle. Well, that's Sunday. He got it because he won a bet. He picked the Dodgers to win the World Series. I'm like, yeah, sure. If they win, you get mod. Because I was so sure the Jays would finish it off. Because they were the better team. I stick with that. The Jays were the better team. The Dodgers played with their heads, not their hearts. That's the difference. The Jays played with their hearts, and it bit them in the ass. There's a difference. There's a thing called experience. You could be struggling, and experience carries you through against a team who doesn't have it. And that's what happened with the Dodgers. Their offense was struggling, but they had experience at the highest level, which the Jays did not. They were learning on the job, so to speak. Now they do, of course. And I think they will make it back to the World Series, and we'll see who they play. But I think they can beat the Dodgers. Now they both have experience. I'm sure the Dodgers will have a better time at the plate. That wouldn't shock me. But I don't think the Jays will have a worse time at the plate. Who knows? Maybe they did piss away their best chance. Either way, the Jays were the better team. The Jays were the better team. They just didn't play with their heads or experience. They played with their hearts, and it bit them in the ass. When it came down to it, that's what bit them in the ass. their lack of World Series experience compared to the Dodgers and not playing with their heads, playing with their hearts. There's a difference. Oh, and not having Yoshinobu Yamamoto, that really helps. Headed away. Oh, that really helped. Like the Dodgers won because of a couple of players having a couple of contributions, and then Yoshinobu Yamamoto being Yoshinobu Yamamoto. There's like 3 things. Playing forward for NYCFC. The fact that Dodgers had experience. Yes, Freeman helped at times. Yes, Betts had his moment. Miguel Rojas had his moment. Will Smith had a couple of moments. Ohtani had a really good game 2, or game 3. But other than that, really was the fact of they got enough contributions for everybody else. And Yoshinobu Yamamoto won them 3 out of 4 games. And we basically handed them the other. You could say we handed them 6 and 7 as well, but Yamamoto pitched in those. Game 2 was really the only game where the Jays truly got their ass kicked. But again, you got mine because the Dodgers won the World Series. Sanchez Cucurella would have been Colwell if he didn't get injured. Surprisingly, it wasn't Reese James, but it was Enzo Casado Palmer and João Pedro. I mean, the only one who really doesn't deserve to be there is Sanchez. Cucurella, understands. Sucks Colwell wasn't there. Surprisingly, Reese James, but I'm going to say all of his injuries as well probably didn't help. I mean, he was out half of the season last year. Enzo Casado Palmer, João Pedro, yep, okay, that I can understand. That I can understand. Charlotte having the ball forward. NYCFC gets it back. It's a very tight game. Charlotte has their moments, but a free kick for Charlotte 4 minutes in. Possibility of MLSC getting it right, because if they don't, Hernandez and Fraser will be quickly sacked. And if they don't, the words that will still be repeated for eternity is call the pirate. Yeah, for the best 11. I say Musa because his time in Italy's been a disaster. It'll either be MLS or somehow return to Valencia. I could see him going to a smaller European team, though. I could see Musa going to Turkey. Or he may go to Saudi before he goes to MLS. Not questioning his morals, but it's more of a... If a Saudi team is dumb enough or just rich enough to buy him, he'll probably take it. I mean, we've seen some really head-scratching Saudi moves. I mean, Matteo Retegui going to Saudi. I'm not saying he's bad, but 1 year after having basically a top scorer season, he just goes to Saudi. That was head-scratching. Luis Diaz or Darwin Nunez going to Saudi, you know what? Fair enough. That made sense. But I'd say, and it's not because I'm trying to be against Musa, but I see him more of a Saudi project. Like Gio Reyna, I think if it doesn't work out in Europe, he will come back to MLS because he's still young, relatively. And I think he's more of a guy who can get homesick. He's more of an emotional guy. Again, that's not a shot, but Musa's more stone cold. If he's going to get the bag from Saudi, he probably would do it. So that's also up there. Let's not forget. Malagon, Rangel, and Acevedo. Malagon, Rangel, okay, that makes sense. Acevedo, they called up Acevedo. Carlos Acevedo. What? Huh? You're telling me they called up Carlos Acevedo. What have we done? What? I mean, if it's just being the third keeper, fine, but okay. Dude, this ain't 2023. Exactly. Totally expect that, yeah. No. Yeah, those bets are over and done with. The only reason I made the World Series bet to Blitzo and Scooty is because I was very sure the Jays were the better team, and I still believe they're the better team. They just choked. Well, I wouldn't even say choked, but the Dodgers outmaneuvered them. That's where we are. I still think the Jays were the better team. The Dodgers just outmaneuvered them. Wasn't really an umpire screw job either. I'd say the Dodgers just outmaneuvered us in the end. Christopher Valdez, Sebo Blanco. No. I have no idea. I ain't betting. That was a really passionate, bad idea. The bet was a really passionate, bad idea. Or, well, it could end up good, but you know. I don't know. Playing forward. Somebody saying go Carolina Panthers. This is the Charlotte FC, but Tepper owns both. It works. I did, but he bet, and I was very, very passionate at the time. And passion clouds your brain. Learn that. Either way. Bets are done. Header. Shot! Oh, good block. That's over the bar. That'll be a corner kick for Charlotte. The bets are done. That's the shop window's closed. The bets are done. The prop bets are done. Playing forward. Foul free kick for Charlotte. Well, they're at home. They better be pushing. Why wouldn't they be? Especially knowing they lost in the second or the first game at home. Over the bar by Dillon, 10 minutes in. Well, that's just unfair. Even if the bets weren't closed, or that's just unfair. That's just unfair. I mean, they have the same colors and they play in the same stadium, and Tepper owns both. You know what? Fine, we'll let him call them the Carolina Panthers. It's probably more fun to root for Charlotte FC than the Carolina Panthers at this point, anyway. Who dat? Who dat? Who dat say they gonna beat them Saints? Who dat? Who dat? Who dat say they gonna beat them Saints? Who dat? Just kidding. Best of luck in the game. I'm just covering it. I just have a Mets football jersey that I'm wearing for this because I don't have a Charlotte. Well, I picked New York anyway, but I'm not biased. I'm not biased here. I have nothing against Charlotte, nothing against New York. I just have my pick. I want my pick to be right, but other than that, I'm not biased. It's just better wearing a jersey at least of the city than compared to like a colored John Cena shirt that fits the colors of the game. It's a Mets football jersey. I do have a soft spot for the Mets, though. The Panthers have been better. Yeah, they have. But the Bucks are still winning the South. Also a big Baker Mayfield, Tom Brady fan, so. Hey, at least if the Saints don't, I have the Bucks. And the Saints are ass. They're horrible right now. The Saints are horrible right now. Could be worse. The Saints are horrible right now. No, $700 plus shipping. No. The slot machine is $700 at least plus shipping, unless you can offer more. That's that. You want it? Pay me on. I'll send you a link to my PayPal. A super chat doesn't work in that case because they cut off like 30%. So you want it? I'll send you a link to my PayPal. $700 plus shipping at least. That's the line. It works though. You can also play with quarters. It's been modded to play with quarters and tokens. So there you go. 13 minutes, that's past the post. Or no, blocked and out for a throw. It's not plugged in. No. Besides, I don't know the rules to that one. I've forgotten. It's 20 damn years old. I've forgotten the rules. Header. And besides, it ain't going to hit the jackpot on its first spin anyway, so really? You know those things have to warm up to hit a jackpot. You do know that, right? You do realize that's the case. I don't know if you know this, Sean. You'll find out one day if you go to casinos. Hold on. Go to casino, spend all your money, watch all your money disappear. Blood diamonds. You'll find out one day when you get old enough to go to a casino. Slot machines have to warm up. You don't hit the jackpot on the first spin. You're going to find that out. You will find that out one day. Find it out one day. 0-0. Very even game. Very tight game as the other two have been. You'll find out one day. You'll find out. Or hell, just watch some YouTube videos. I'm sure there are some. I'm sure there's some YouTube videos out there that are like, here's how you can tell a slot machine's about to hit a jackpot before you play it. Well, I mean, you could say that about any addiction, really. You could say that about any addiction, really. Like, drug addictions. How are people addicted to drugs? How are people addicted to smoking? How are people addicted to alcohol? People have vices. Are they understandable? Probably not. But that's life. I'd rather be addicted to gambling than addicted to drugs. I'd rather be addicted to gambling than addicted to alcohol. If I was addicted to something. Shot blocked away. I mean, come on now. And honestly, I ain't gonna judge people for what they're addicted to, or at least make me look at them worse. I may in my head call them stupid, but it's their decision. Like, their addiction is their prerogative. I mean, I ain't gonna... 17th minute. So do that what you will. Well, one gives you cirrhosis, one gives you lung cancer. I'm not sure which one's the less painful death. Ball crossed in. You could possibly... I won't say alcohol, because you can't beat cirrhosis. You can beat lung cancer. You can't beat cirrhosis. So if you develop cirrhosis, you might as well make your peace with the Lord. You can still beat lung cancer, though. So I guess alcohol, considering it would end in a more painful death that you really can't fight. Like, once you get it, it's gonna do you in. Either way. I guess alcohol then. Playing forward. I guess alcohol is worse because if you do get cirrhosis, it's doing you in. You will die of it. You can beat lung cancer. It ain't gonna be fun, but you can. So, and also, I mean, if you've read, like, if you stop smoking, your body naturally cleans itself over a passage of time. Your liver doesn't naturally clean itself over the passage of time, like your lungs do. So if you stop smoking, your lungs will eventually be clear. If you drink and then stop drinking, I'm not saying you will get cirrhosis, but it depends on how heavily you drink. But even if you stop drinking, your liver will have paid the price. So alcohol is worse, I guess. Vaping is more dangerous than smoking. I mean, I don't really know the research on that. And frankly, I don't see how it is. Is it the metals? I don't know. And besides, like, and then when you're talking about smoking addictions, you could be talking about some people are addicted to smoking pot. So, again, there's also different lanes there, which being addicted to smoking pot, I mean, it won't give you lung cancer. Might get you high, make you spend a lot of money on Doritos, but, that's not too bad. Vaping, you don't really know enough about that, so you can't really speak on that. But I guess that's what makes alcohol worse as well. It's like you can't really either fake alcohol and you can't really clean out what damage you do to your body. Now, does it make sense why I barely drink? Well, partially, I guess. Playing forward. Well, I mean, if you know the person's a smoker, I guess it could be. You could be like, well, I guess they did in the end off themselves, but, I can't really say. But I don't think they can be like, oh, this person, like the coroner, be like, well, this person died of lung cancer. They don't know if, well, I guess if they look at your lungs, they'll be like, well, we could see smoke. Well, I guess they can tell. I guess a coroner could tell, but they ain't gonna mark it as a suicide. I don't know the whatever it is. I don't know the protocol. I guess it technically could be. But you could also say that about somebody who just doesn't take chemotherapy. Like if they get a cancer and they just try to beat it naturally or don't take chemo and just accept their fate, like you could call that a technical suicide as well. So if you really wanted to. So Bouanga, duh. Who would pick Forsberg over Bouanga? 22 minutes in, 0-0. I'm not saying if they knew it was bad. I'm saying, I guess I was like, well, I don't know if a coroner could like tell exactly what caused the lung cancer. And I'm like, well, it depends if they were smoking during treatment. Either way. But no, people knew smoking was bad in the 50s and 60s, yeah. Why do you think there's a Surgeon General's warning on the boxes? Also, there's a Surgeon General's warning on a chaw as well, but either way. Very tight game so far. Sometimes we go off the rails. But again, like, if you stop smoking, your lungs can clean themselves over a period of time. I think that's part of it, why smoking isn't as bad as drinking. And also, if you want to talk about smoking addictions, then you also have the fact of, well, hey, people smoke pot. That's not a problem. But either way. Adidas went hard on the World Cup kits. I thought they were pretty good, yeah. I like Italy's. Sadly enough, probably won't be seen at the World Cup. 24th minute. Free kick for NYCFC, 24 minutes in. Charlotte's had a lot of chances. They've been pressing heavily tonight at home, which they should be. NYCF's defended very well, and they've gotten some chances, but it's a very tight defensive game either way. Here's the free kick shot, saved by Kalina. On target, but saved. Fernandez misses. Is Belonga better than Messi right now? Yes. Yes, he is. Yes, he is. Messi won the Golden Boot, though. Okay, so who's in the next round of the playoffs and who's playing tomorrow? Forsberg is expected to carry our midfield now because every good midfielder we had 2 years ago asked for too much. Aren't y'all supposed to have a good academy? Aren't y'all supposed to have a good academy? Throws in. What happened to that? Well, who are we kidding? No, you do. I mean, Red Bulls 2 is in the MLS Next Pro final tomorrow. So you still do have a good academy. What happened to that? What, they just throw everything into Red Bulls 2 this year? They'll come up next year, I guess? So no, you still do have a good academy. Teams with shit academies can't make a Next Pro final. Well, Red Bull 2 has great talent that Sandro didn't like using. So they should be used next year, I guess. Well, okay, no, that first year St. Louis City SC2, a lot of their players that played on the Next Pro team played on City 1 the next year. Okay, so St. Louis doesn't have a good academy. Scratch that. St. Louis doesn't have a good academy. Well, they had a good year this year, though. City 2, and then lost in the first round. Or was it second? I think it was the second. Either way. Okay, no, St. Louis did choke, but they had a good regular season, too. But it's hard not to. Columbus Crew, I mean, remember those 2 years where they won the final, then made the final of Next Pro? Yeah, the Crew have a really good academy. Austin FC 2, they won it 1 year. North Texas, Dallas is a very good academy. Rapids 2, the jury's still out, but the reason why St. Louis were doing so well in 22 of Next Pro is because they had a solid squad to start, and then halfway through the year, guess who came in? The European players came in as half-season loans because the main team wasn't started yet, but they were already signed. So, of course, they still lost the final. Omir's good. Him and Amaya are shorter than me, but they played like they were 7 feet tall. They're what Red Bull needs. Yeah, Omir, I think Portland did a good job bringing him in, but I think Red Bull's lost out there. Frankie Amaya, on the other hand, like, didn't he push his way out of Red Bull? Or was that Cincinnati? I'm confused. Was that Cincinnati? I think that was Cincinnati. I'm confused. I remember him pushing his way out of a club. I think that was Cincinnati, actually. Red Bull to Toluca. Oh, yeah, then he went, yeah, he pushed his way out of Cincinnati to Red Bull, then he went to Toluca. Yep, there we go. I was talking about the first time, though. He kicked up a fuss, pushed his way out of Cincinnati, went to Red Bull, and then now he's at Toluca, which that was a little bit more positive. Oh, trust me, I remember that. Because he played Chelsea. Luquinhas played Chelsea in the Conference League. Of course I wouldn't forget that. Dude probably shouldn't have left. I mean, I know it's Chelsea, but they did heavily rotate. That was part of the tournament where they heavily rotated still. Didn't really wow me. I'm like, I expected better out of him, and then he just, nope. I'm like, he shouldn't have left MLS. 30th minute, 0-0. Why doesn't Maresca start Estival in the Prem? I have no idea, but he should, because Estival's that dude. Estival's for real. I don't know why he doesn't. Everything that Estival has shown in spurts, in stints, now he's for real. Estival's for real. I don't know why he doesn't. I don't understand it either. Tavon Gray is down. I'm not a Chelsea fan, but I agree. Yep, there we go. Says Dillon. Neto and Estival should be our wingers. I mean, Gittins is getting better, but Estival's way better than Garnacho. Agreed. But just imagine how good Estival will be in like 2 or 3 years. I mean, the dude hadn't even hit his prime yet. Like, this dude's already damn near world class, and he's just a kid. 32 minutes. I mean, what else can you say? Alas, Manuel, I don't really miss. That's either true and ironic, or that's an awesome joke. I mean, he did hit a lot of crossbars. I guess bend him that way, then. I mean, that is hilarious. Holy Lord. Holy Lord, that is hilarious. Corner for NYCFC. Corner. That was a stupid corner, but a free kick for Charlotte. Oh, because they were playing in LA. Okay, I get it now. Yeah. Like a 10 p.m. kickoff and then tie game. Yeah. Like, here's some that I would do if I was, like, doing, like, a This Week in Sports Ball, Chisel Adonis type video about MLS every week, or CONCACAF. I would, if somebody hits the bar at a horrible time, like, have it, like when it dings off the bar, like, turn to the bell sound effect, like it hits the bell. That's the Latin of, in the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. But in Latin, you know, like that meme. I didn't say it in Latin because I don't want to butcher it. That's why I didn't. But you know exactly what meme. The bell, and then, you know, in Latin, in the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. If I said it in Latin right now, I would butcher it. So, you know exactly what meme I'm talking about. No, it'd be better when Squid uses it for Notre Dame donking a ball off the upright, but it works. And I say that having a soft spot for Notre Dame for obvious, the same reasons I root for the Steelers. The same reason I root for the Steelers, I should say. You would cook up crossbar challenge, though. They actually had Max Verstappen do the crossbar challenge at Red Bull Arena, New Jersey, of course. He was horrible. And I think it was still when his teammate was Daniel Ricciardo. They were both horrible, I should say. Or, no, it wasn't him and Gasly. Either way, it was horrible. Max only hit like one crossbar. That was, dude. I get he's a Formula One driver, but the dude's from the Netherlands and he loves football. Shot over the bar. Like, he knows ball. He can't kick one, though. Max Verstappen knows ball, but he can't kick one. Look it up, Max Verstappen Red Bull crossbar challenge. It's there on YouTube. It was a sight to see. I was trying to look up a time where, because Daniel Ricciardo, yeah, he should have hit the target there. Brant Bronico puts it over the bar, but he had a chance to hit the target. Feeling a lot of pressure. Like, they're pressing heavily, but is it more because of the pressure or the fact they're at home? I feel like Charlotte feels a lot of pressure here. If this goes to penalties, their advantage might not be there with the pressure they're feeling. Either way. Yeah, he should have hit the target from there. Should have. I thought he had that. Drops in front, good defensive play there by Malanda. Yeah. Burn. Like, I feel like Charlotte feels a lot of pressure. Because, see, here's the thing. It isn't both teams won a game, but they both won on the road. NYC won in Charlotte. Charlotte won in New York on penalties. They're back in Charlotte where New York won 2 weeks ago. So there's a lot of pressure here that they could do a similar thing that they did 2 weeks ago and they could win again. And this is the last game of the series. they're in a position where they screwed up home field advantage. Now they feel pressure because it's do or die, plus the fact you lost here to the same team the last time you played here. So there's that sort of, we got to do this right. I think there's pressure there. I still got NYCFC winning. It's a tight game, and both teams are very defensively stout, and I think Charlotte's made some offensive mistakes, even if NYCFC's let them off the hook defensively, like Bronico putting the ball over the bar. Header. It makes you wonder, though, because in my opinion, caught, Freeze jumps over him, that'll be a goal kick. 60% San Diego. I'd say that's about right. Yeah, I'd say 60-40 is a good shout for the chance for either team to advance. Yeah, no, I think that's a good shout. That's a good shout. I think 60-40 is about where you would put it. Yeah. I'd say 60-40 is where you put it. Yeah. Probably watching the game. He'll show up at some point, I'm sure. Could San Diego win the MLS Cup? No, I don't. I don't think so. I don't. I believe personally that the team, if they come out of the West, I could see them pulling it off, but I don't see they come out of the West over LAFC or Vancouver. I don't. Even if Vancouver has to go to San Diego. Portland, ever since the first 2 goals against them in game 1, Portland's made San Diego look vulnerable. In my opinion, if Portland can make San Diego look vulnerable, I think if Seattle beats Minnesota, I think Seattle's going to the conference final because of their experience and the fact that they just won Leagues Cup. I think they're on very good form. I think Seattle could beat San Diego. Knowing it's a 1-game tie as well. They may be on the road, but what happened last year when Seattle was on the road to a team that you thought was better in the playoffs? They beat them. They beat LAFC last year to set up the Western Conference Final that honestly nobody wanted because everybody wanted the El Tráfico West Final. And it didn't happen. So with that being said, Suarez suspended for tomorrow. Yep, I saw. Which that might be a better thing for Miami. I'm not going to lie, but we'll find out because we'll be live for it. Playing forward. "42 minutes. If Seattle had a proper striker, they win MLS Cup." Yeah, but they still have a very good team, and they won the Leagues Cup without a proper striker. So, your point? Like, don't discount Seattle till they're dead. Discount Seattle at your own peril before they're eliminated. Discount them at your own peril. Seattle Sounders mentioned. Well, they're still in the playoffs. They're playing on Saturday, which that's the game we're not covering, but I'll keep an eye on it. Nil-nil. Settle. Goal kick here for Kalina. Seattle's a good club, man. Joven brought some scouts here, Trinidad, years back. Yep. Seattle's a good club. I mean, I don't like them for what they've done to Toronto, but I think Seattle is a good club. I'm jealous of Seattle. I'm not saying you do, but I'm just saying. Seattle has the experience factor and the fact they won a trophy this year because of that experience. Minnesota's a good team. They don't have the experience. Again, it's the point I made with the Dodgers and the Blue Jays. If you have experience at the highest levels, you make the right decisions with your head because you've seen it before. You've seen things. Once you get to the highest levels, if you don't have that experience, you're playing with your heart. And even if you make a big run, you're learning on the job. And the more you go, the more you can make a mistake that causes you to choke or lose because you play with your heart, not your head. I'm not shitting on Minnesota. I'm saying that Seattle still has a very good squad, but they have the advantage of experience. They may not have home advantage, but they have the advantage of experience. And when they put a beating, and when Seattle put a beating on Minnesota like they did game 2 to extend it to 3, that's going to put a seed of doubt in Minnesota's mind. And let's see, remember how close game 1 was. That's going to put a seed in their mind that, Seattle might, they ain't dead yet, not by a long shot. Like something like that. And it makes you want to see how game 3 is going to go. Again, experience is a real thing, is my point. 46 minutes. I think Minnesota has a good squad, but I picked Seattle on their experience. And game 2 certainly showed why that was not a bad call. Also the Leagues Cup. But if they didn't win the Leagues Cup this year, it might be a different comparison or a different discussion. But they won the Leagues Cup, so. Which that's still a knockout tournament. For better or for worse, it's still a knockout tournament. .46 minute, 3 minutes of stoppage time, 0-0, settle. Plays in header. We got 2 games tomorrow. We'll be live for Columbus and Cincinnati, game 3, and then we'll be live and reviewing Miami-Nashville, game 3. Here's a chance for NYCFC. Fernandez, goal! A goal for Fernandez! Scores! And it's 1-0 NYCFC. What a solo run by Fernandez. Wow. 0-1 esta noche. Wow. What a solo run. Just nobody had him, man. Fernandez. Beautiful goal. Magic. Goal. That was all him. Boom. Perfecto. Boom, boom, boom. Took the perfect time to take the perfect shot. 0-1. 0-1. New York leads in stoppage time of the first half. Just like they led game 1. They won that one 1-0. That was Alonso Martinez minutes earlier. And then it's 45 plus 2. And that's why experience matters. 48 minutes. NYCFC have won a cup. Charlotte, not so much. Here comes Maxi Morales. No, he got his number back. Okay, Maxi Morales. I forgot, yeah. Brilliant run. I thought he blew it for a moment. Yeah, amazing run. Should get to the halftime. And there's Daniel, and he's very happy. Cross in, cleared. Very tight game so far. Charlotte has to get one back within 45 minutes or so. Good. Oh, what a run. Vargas cleared away. What will the ref call for the half? And he does. Ref calls for halftime. 0-1 NYCFC at the half. 0-1. Esta noche miro tiempo. 45 more minutes left in this series. And Fernandez may have just put NYCFC to the next round. Do you see a goal in the second half? It's going to be tight. I see one goal in the second half late. I see a 85 to 90 minute goal. I don't know from which team, but it's either a goal that puts this series away for New York or sends this to penalties for Charlotte. It's either or. But one goal, yes. Late. Very late. Just like half year. Is the A-League better than MLS? The league's very physical. Everybody in that league seems to be very muscular, lean, and fast. No. No disrespect to the A-League. It is a good league, but I think the MLS is still a better league. It's close, but I think MLS is the better league. No disrespect there. A goal like that deserves to be the winner. Well, I mean, if NYCFC scores a second, it is. If they score a second, it still is. The goal that gives you the lead, if you win 2-0, is the winning goal. So as long as NYCFC still wins, even if they add a goal, that's still the winning goal. Great solo effort. There's a watch party at Yankee Stadium. Fernandez to Boca. Of course you would. Of course you would want that. With that being said, we'll take a short break at the half, talk about stats, get this one going, sit tight, we'll be back. 0-1, 0-1, miro tiempo. NYCFC líder de partido. New York leads the match. Will they win the series? 45 more minutes. Sit tight, be back. We are back for the stats of the half. The A-League is probably on par with like the Irish League. MLS is probably on par with the Eredivisie minus its big clubs. Okay, no. That first part is just no. The Australian League is better than the frickin' Irish League. That is just wow. Wow. Like that's dude, that's worse that's worse than my Scottish League take. Jeez, man. No. Think about stop and watch WWE, still like wrestling. JCW is a real recommendation. Vince Russo's the head writer of that show, and it's badass creative. I might check it, but we'll see what happens with the WWE. But I might check out JCW. Is it on YouTube? Like, does it stream on YouTube or whatever? Like, do I have to buy anything to watch it? With that being said, stats at the half. 41% possession to 59% possession. 7 total shots to 3. And 0 shots on goal to 2. We have 153 accurate passes, 82%, 234, 86%. 7 foul to 7, 0 corner to 1. We have 7 shots to 3, 3 shots off goal, 2. It's on YouTube, okay. Thursday at 7, it's free. I might check it out. 3 shots off target to 0, 0 shots on goal to 2. 186 pass to 273, 82% pass accuracy to 86. 13 throws to 13, 0 offside to 0, 5 tackles to 8. 1 block to 4, 12 clearances to 16, 1 keeper save to 0. 0 yellows to 0, 0 reds to 0, 0-1 at the half, 0-1 medio tiempo. I think it's a very tight game overall. I disagree with you. I disagree. I think the League of Ireland is nowhere near as good as the A-League. I think the A-League, that's high disrespect to the Australian League. I think that's high disrespect to the Australian League. Saying it's not much better than the League of Ireland, that's crazy. That's crazier than my Scottish League take. But that was a bad one. Also feel by the fact I felt pissed off. I was really pissed off at the moment. But you know what? Do that what you will. Daniel with a $5 super chat. I can't scroll up to read, so. Daniel says, nice jersey, man. I heard the Yankees are making their own soccer jersey giveaway next year in celebration for the World Cup. I don't want the Yankees jersey. Well, yeah, it should be a nice jersey, Daniel. You're the one who sent it to me. Thanks again. Also have the pennant you sent me, too. And I think upstairs, actually. But I moved the pennant you sent me, too. But thank you for the $4.99 super chat, Daniel, and thank you for the jersey, because you're the one who sent it to me. But do not send me a Yankees football jersey. Do not. Do not. You know what? No, you know what? I'll pay back. I'll pay back and bet. Send me the Yankees one. If you go to a Yankee game and you get the Yankee soccer jersey, if the Blue Jays finish under the Yankees next year, I will wear it. And I will pay back the bet. Saying the Yankee win. But if the Blue Jays finish above the Yankees or they beat them in the playoffs, by finish above the Yankees, if the Blue Jays do what they did this year while being the division champions and then beating the Yankees in the playoffs and eliminating them, that's what I mean by finish above them. If the Jays make the playoffs but the Yankees do not, that's also finish above them. But if the Jays do not finish above the Yankees, we'll make that bet. I'll give you my new. If you're going to send it, I'll give you my new thing. whenever it's time. But no, that's actually not a bad idea. If the Blue Jays get humiliated by the Yankees next year, I will wear a Yankees football jersey. Say, "Da Yankee win," and let myself get lorded over like I'm lording over Yankees fans right now. But right now, nope. The Yankee Lou. The Yankee Lou. Mile High says, you watched the Broncos yesterday? Yes, horrible game. Horrible game. Absolutely horrible game. But the Broncos won, but it still sucked. Y'all were horrible. Both teams were horrible. Both teams are horrible. With that being said, very tight game tonight in the MLS. Charlotte is really pressing. They are very much in trouble. NYCFC are playing free. Charlotte are playing very pressured, and there you go. You had more flags than first downs. Yeah, exactly. I watched the game. It was horrible. At least y'all won, though. Huh. Denver winning last night. Simulations now have the Broncos winning the AFC West 58% of the time. Chiefs 32%, Chargers 10%. And we're off. Second half, here we go. Throw in. What the hell happened to the freaking... What happened to the freaking Chargers? Oh, there we go. Standings. Shit, it's week 10. The Chargers are second place. The Chiefs are third. And the Chiefs have the better chance than the Chargers. Broncos are top of the West. Patriots are top of the East. And right now, they do not have the best record in the AFC because Broncos have the 8 win. Eagles, Packers, Lions are right behind. Buccaneers and the Seahawks. Playing forward. Header cleared away by Tim Ream. Play Kansas City next. I hope the Broncos win. I didn't say I'd pick y'all, but I hope y'all win. I want to see the Chiefs miss the playoffs. .47th minute. Save. Chiefs have the bye this week. They play Denver, the Colts, Dallas, Texans, Chargers, Titans, Broncos on Christmas. The Chiefs play the Broncos on Christmas Day. Christmas night, I should say. And then the Raiders someday on the first week of January. Weekend of January. Would you be happy if Denver won the Super Bowl? Well, it depends on who you're playing. It depends on who you beat on your way there. If you beat the Steelers and the Patriots on your way there, hell no. If you're playing the Eagles and you didn't play the Steelers and the Patriots on your way there, or one of the two, sure. If you beat the Eagles, if you beat the Chiefs on your way there and the Bills and not the Steelers and Patriots and you play the Eagles, sure, I'll be happy for y'all. If you play the Patriots and Steelers and you beat them both, on your way there, and then you play the Lions, hell no. If you play the Eagles, I'd still probably rather see the Broncos win the Super Bowl, but there will be a sour taste in my mouth because you beat the Patriots and Steelers. But it's not the Eagles, though. So, but if you beat the Lions, hell no. It depends on who you play and who you've ran through if you go to the Super Bowl. Like, if the Broncos go to the Super Bowl, it depends on who you ran through and played and beat, and then who you play in the Super Bowl. If I'm going to be happy for y'all or not. Playing forward. Blocked away. That should be saved by Freeze. It's out for a corner. Habs are linked to Braden Shen. That'd be awesome. That's going to be good for y'all. Getting Braden Shen, that wouldn't be bad. But 50th minute. Charlotte, Zaha plays it back. Westwood, Zaha. Zaha pulled down. Zaha blocked away. Here comes NYCFC, chipped over the top. This could be a good run. Here's a chance. NYCFC. This could be a second shot. Goal! It's a goal for Alonso Martinez. 15 minutes in, and NYCFC have a 2-0 lead. What a run. What a run. 50th minute, Alonso Martinez. Perfect ball over the top. 0-2, Cereros. Martinez slots it home. NYCFC have a 2-0 lead. Wow. Perfect run. Perfect ball over the top and a perfect run. Alonso Martinez. Boom. Burn was burnt. Oh, that was good. Burn was burnt. There we go. They're well on their way. Ball game, it might just be. It might just be. Wow. Burn was burnt. Perfect ball over the top. NYCFC have started to become the better team. Tell me Maxi Morales got the assist there? Hold on. He did. You knew he had to. You knew. Maxi Morales with a ball over the top assist there as well. You just knew it had to be Maxi Morales with the assist. You just knew. You just knew. He's still got it. 38 years old, and he's still got it. Boom. What an assist. What an assist. Perfect ball over the top. Who do you think is the best player in the MLS currently? Oh, Heung-min Son. I think it's Heung-min Son. Bouanga's right there, but I think it's him or Sonny. And for me, it ain't Messi. Like, Messi still has his moments. I'm not saying he doesn't. But just because you're the best player of all time don't mean you're the best player in MLS currently. It's Heung-min Son. Like, he should not have came from Europe, is my point. Like, he is way too good for the MLS. He's still in his prime. Why is he here? You know, it's like that. No disrespect, but he's still in his prime. Like, why is he over here? Type thing. Like, why? Son being here is not something you want to see. So I'm gonna say, well, not. I guess it is something you want to see, but he's too good. He's too good for MLS. He's legitimately too good for MLS, Son. Too good. There we go. 53rd minute. He's too good. (2-0) NYCFC. I think Son's too good for MLS. Like, he's been absolutely amazing, and frankly, I don't see why. I don't see how he can't. Son at offers in Europe, he chose LA. It's not the first time somebody chose LA. Like, I mean, look at. I mean, just look at Otani, Yamamoto, Roki Sasaki, Haesung Kim. Like, for some reason, players from Asia love to go to LA. I don't know what it is. Whether it's Korea or Japan, they love LA. I don't know what it is, especially soccer-wise. I kind of get the Dodgers way. I kind of understand why they have all the Japanese players and 2 Korean players, one that came from the KBO and the other one being Tommy Edman, but it counts because he played for Korea. But well, I guess Tommy Edman counts too, right? he counts too. But yeah, no, it's kind of like a overdone joke at this point. Player from Asia comes to play in LA, whether that is LAFC or the Dodgers. It's kind of an overdone joke at this point. Hell, I mean, you look at the Galaxy, you have Maya Yoshida and Miki Yamane. So, even then, caught. If Son played, well, Saudi it's its own thing. It's like Texas. It's its own thing. Saudi Arabia, he might have a harder time considering of all the European fallen stars that are playing there. South America, I don't think Son would fit in with South American football culture. He'd be a fish out of water. Liga MX, I think he'd do the same thing there he's doing here. I think Liga MX, unless if he played for Rayados, he certainly would. If he didn't, I'd rather have Son than Martial if I'm being real. But either way, Tigres, Son, it'd be similar, I think. I don't really see Liga MX being a hard league for him to win. South America, I guess, because I just think he'd be a total fish out of water. Good player, but he'd be a total fish out of water in South America, comparatively. A lot of legends choose LA, i.e. Beckham and Zlatan. That's not, well, of course, that too, but I was kind of going from the angle of, I mean, look at Otani, Yamamoto, Sasaki, just like all the notable Asian players in any sport that have went to LA. That was the line I was looking at. Haesung Kim, Korean player who was on the bench for the Dodgers during the World Series and didn't have a second played or outplayed. But either or, I was looking more at the angle of like, well, I mean, look, you have Otani, Sasaki, Yamamoto, Kim, Edman, because he counts. He is Korean. He played for the Korean WBC team, and I'm sure he will again. Tommy Edman's Korean. I know I was as shocked as you were when I found that out, but either way. I didn't know it when he was in St. Louis. What, was he still in St. Louis at the time? For most of his St. Louis career, I had no idea. And he was one of my favorite players on the Cardinals at the time. So. Ricky Puig had European offers. He chose LA too. Again, my point, I was making more of a connection to Ohtani, Yamamoto, Sasaki, Haesung Kim, Edman. I was making more of a connection to that. It's like, what has Ohtani done? You know? That's what I was. Shohei chose LA. Everybody chooses LA. That's where I was going with it. Sonnet offers in Germany, Turkey, Greece, and Saudi. '60th minute. So, I mean, I'd rather choose MLS, except for Germany, but it depends on where. Like, it depends on who was offering him in Germany. I mean, what, dude didn't want to play? I guess Bayern wasn't, because if you gave him the offer to play with Harry Kane again, I'm sure he would have taken it. Aren't they really good friends? Like, wouldn't they love to play with each other again? Phrasing? Playing forward. I guess Bayern didn't offer him then. Santa Corinthians. Played for Leverkusen. He played in the Bundesliga. Yep. With San Francisco had a professional MLS team. That wouldn't happen. Dude. Well, they basically told Sacramento to get effed off. Where would they even play in San Francisco? I mean, maybe Santa Clara, but they wouldn't play in San Francisco proper. Just like the 49ers. They play in Santa Clara. Besides, San Jose is right there. Good win coming on for Charlotte. 30 minutes to go. Bronico's off. He's had a stink. He's had a trash game. I could agree with that. $62 minutes. San Jose's right there, and they play at Levi's, so. No, not really. Not really, no. $62 minutes. Maybe Oracle Park could host an MLS team. No, damn it. Damn it, no, not another baseball field. Damn it, no, not another baseball field. We're just about to get rid of one. Don't do it again. We're about to get rid of the baseball fields. You want to do it again? Besides, Sacramento Republic deserves an MLS team. Besides, San Jose plays at Levi's Stadium every so often. Shot wide. I would say San Jose and San Francisco are spoken for, but, you know. 63rd minute. Cesar Garza linked to Hearts. That's pretty good. Huh. 65th minute. NYCFC, Fernandez, cross saved. Well, that's what I meant, both of them. At least there's no expansion draft this offseason, true. And doesn't Oracle Park have a smaller field as well, considering, you know, the splash deck and all that? Like, wouldn't Oracle Park, AT&T Park, be considered more of a smaller field? Like Mets and Yankee Stadium, like City and Yankee Stadium do, especially Yankee Stadium. Well, no, City Field is it does have deeper fences. But like Yankee Stadium, isn't Oracle Park more of a compact field? Especially with a splash deck. It would be funny, though. Like a penalty being taken near the splash deck. It goes over the bar and hits the frickin' McCovey Cove. That would be hilarious. That'd be hilarious. That would be hilarious. Embarrassing. You have people boating in to take the penalty off the top of the water in McCovey Cove. That's crazy. That'd be crazy, man. Andres Perea gets a yellow card. Toronto friends. Special weather statement in effect for Toronto. Accumulating snow likely on Sunday. Snowfall amounts of 2 to 10 centimeters. O'Neal got a yellow. Yeah. I mean, I agree with that, but like league matches, though, that's a little bit different. 68 minutes. I'm fine with it. Like baseball stadiums, like Yankee Stadium, Busch, City, and Oracle, AT&T Park, hosting friendlies if they're able. Even though, well, they are bigger. Especially. There's for now, no soccer-specific stadium in San Francisco or New York. There is for St. Louis, but it is much smaller. Probably the reason why St. Louis didn't get the Men's World Cup. They might get the Women's, though, I've heard. City Park's good enough for the Women's World Cup, I've heard. But, you know, that's enough about that. Either way, O'Neal will now miss the conference semi. Well, damn. Well, at least he should be healthy for the international break. And if he picks up a knock during the Ireland games, you know, maybe he'll be fine by the conference final if NYCFC make it that far. but they're also playing Philly, so. Draw result of the CONCACAF U20 qualifier group stage, Group A, Salvador, Suriname, Belize, Grenada, St. Martin, French Guiana. Shot saved by Freeze. B, Jamaica, Puerto Rico, St. Kitts and Nevis, Cayman Islands, Turks Caicos, Bonaire. C, Costa Rica, Trinidad, Tobago, Bermuda, Barbados, and Saint Martin. Okay, so Canada, USA, I guess Canada and USA have already qualified to the tournament in Mexico. Okay, no, it's not. Group D, Haiti, Curacao, Guyana, St. Vincent, Anguilla. E, Costa Rica, Trinidad, Bermuda, Barbados, Saint Martin. F, Canada, Aruba, Martinique, U.S. Virgin Islands. I guess USA and Mexico are already in. No, the game's still going on, but it is 2-0 New York. So is it probably over for Charlotte? Probably. '70th minute. I wouldn't say it's over, but I wonder how Saint Martin is represented as its constituencies of two separate nations, France and Netherlands. Player down hurt for NYCFC. Oh no, this must be really bad. Milanda's not happy. Pereira. The players were already over him. This is not good. Oh no. This is not good. Andres Pereira is down. Oh no. Oh no, this one's bad. This one's bad. Oh no. Oh no. They don't look. Oh no, he actually is hurt. And Malanda was, man, he's either hurt himself or he's crying. Oh no. He's broke something. Oh no, yeah, they're getting the air cast. He's cooked. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. The reaction, Malanda heads him on and he comes down. Oh! Oh shit! Oh! 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 Fuck. Oh my god. Oh. God. Damn. Sorry for taking the Lord's name in vain, but god damn. God damn. Oh my god. He broke his ankle. He at least dislocated it. That. Oh my god. On the way down, he dislocated his ankle. That was rough. That was rough to watch. It'll show up at some point, Mile High, on social media. It'll show up at some point. Just keep searching the name Andres Pereira if you want to see it. I can't show it on stream, and I don't want to see it again. My God. No, he came down on his ankle. That's not a red card for Malanda. He broke his ankle when he came down on it the wrong way. There is no red card there. It's just hard to watch. Like, no, that was no. No card there. Let's pray out for the next 6 months. Probably. God. Oh my. Nope. Didn't want to see that tonight. Didn't want to see that tonight. Dear God. Oh my God. That was not something I expected to see tonight. We'll look up the name. Andres Perea. I'm sure it'll come up at some point. One, if I show it, I'll get a copyright strike. Second of all, I'm not fast forward rewinding to see that injury again. He is waving to the crowd. Okay. I don't want to see that again. I'm surprised they showed the replay. That was brutal. NYCFC got to find their way to get their heads back in the game. Raul Gustavo coming in for Perea. Raul Gustavo coming on. Pray to the Lord for him. Jeez. Pray to the Lord for Perea's health and, well, recovery. Perea off for Gustavo. Raul Gustavo. Oh, my God. Ooh. Jesus, man. Wow. Free kick. I mean, drop ball, sure. Free kick, though, he came down on it, but okay. Oof. Playing forward. Fernandez. Blocked away. There is a fan base for NYCFC, yes. Yes, there is. My God. That was the second time Andres got hurt. Don't forget his hip injury. Yep, but that was way more gruesome. Broke both lower leg bones for sure, says somebody. The one time Apple gives us a replay and we didn't need to see it. Yep. I don't think it gets much worse than that. Dear God. 77th minute. Wow. Playing forward. This could be number 3. Ball crossed over and saved by Kalina. Ugh. Ugh. I don't think they should have shown the replay. Abada coming on. Liel Abada coming on for Charlotte. I mean, Jesus. Holy Lord. Wow. Ugh. I did not need to see that. No. 78th minute. No. Brutal. Luckily, it was nice to see Charlotte fans clap him off, applaud him off. That was good. Playing forward, good tackle by NYCFC, and this game's getting rough. Toklamati crashes into O'Toole. Wait. O'Toole is the... O'Toole's... No. O'Toole's the one who got called up to Ireland, yeah? Got it. He represents Ireland. Okay, so Kevin O'Toole, Ireland. O'Neill, Australia. Okay, there you go. There we go. I've never seen Raul Gustavo take over as a 6 in midfield. He's a center back. I think what they're trying to do is they're going to push up Justin Hawk and drop Gustavo into that center back position. That's probably what they're going to do. But sub doesn't have to be for the positions, just for the guy. I'm guessing Gustavo's at center back and they pushed Hawk up to center mid. If not now, they'll do that for the next game. But I would assume probably for now as well. Cross. Here's a chance. Shot. Goal! And Charlotte gets one back. And there it is. 1-2. Charlotte gets one back. Toklamati with a goal. Pops in the rebound. Oh, no. This has late comeback by Charlotte after a bad injury written all over it to penalties. This is exactly what this has written all over it. Iran Toklamati. Scores the goal. Ball played over the top by Zaha, or Zaha plays it through. Ball crossed in, rebound, or it's passed through, and Toklamati's right there to put it away after the ball makes it through the back line. Yep. Could be an offside, but let's see. Goal on the doorstep for Toklamati. Tap in. I can't scream it, but go to the net. You know what I say? Go to the net. Boom. Good for Charlotte. They get one back. 10 minutes plus stoppage time, 2-1. Go to the net. Well, he might have been offside when the ball was played through. This might come back. This might come back. This might come back. Toklamati, 81st minute. It is a goal. Okay. It's 81 minutes playing, headed away by Tim Ream. Toklamati scores. 81st minute. Goodwin with the assist. One to two. 81st minute for Toklamati. Okay, this is a game. It's a game yet. Yep. He was onside. 1-2. NYCFC still has the lead, but now they have to lock down. Go to the net. He looked onside just about. They called it onside, so 82 minutes. As I always say, or used to scream, now I just can say, go to the net. Go to the net, always. You go to the net, good things happen. You know, come on now. Does it hit the same? Not really, but we got to just do it this way. That's going to go picked up by Charlotte. Advantage played. The point still remains, but it doesn't hit the same. That's out for a goal kick. Go to the net. Well, I mean, maybe by a foot, maybe because of a foot he's onside. I think he used the foot that was onside. That was the kicker. I think he used the foot that was onside. Genius. He puts it on his right foot and just, boom, swipes it in. I think he used the foot that was onside. That's why. Genius. He knew the position of his body and where he was, and he kept that foot onside and used that foot. Good job. Good job. I got to respect that. Good job. NYCFC holding on to their butts. 84th minute. Hold on to your butts. Gray on the far side, keeping them all on. Well, that makes sense too. Long 10 minutes for NYCFC. Add the 8 of stoppage time too. Hold on to your butts. 84th minute. Shot over the bar. Sure about that? Munetaka Murakami is being looked at by the Toronto Blue Jays. Well, I mean, we've wanted Ohtani and Sasaki, and, well, not Yamamoto, we didn't really go for. Yeah, no, I mean, damn it. I called him Joey Gallo. I called him the Japanese Joey Gallo, and now the Jays are looking after him. Damn it, damn it, damn it. Well, shit, he better learn how to slug. What are we doing with Barger then? And Ernie Clement, what are we doing? We have Santander, Barger, and Clement. What are we doing? I would hope Murakami's like, hey, if Bo leaves, we're going to move Clement to second, and then Murakami plays third, and then Barger plays right, and then Santander play left. I hope that's more of a, hey, Bo left, we got to do something type of thing. Because we have to put somebody at second, a.k.a. Ernie Clement. Jimenez short, Ernie Clement second, Murakami third, Barger right, Santander left. I'm guessing. Because Murakami really doesn't fit in. I said that Murakami's the Japanese Joey Gallo. If you look at the way he hits, he can't hit a fastball over 94. At least not now. And his numbers against the off speed aren't good either. He's not that good of a fielder. He is the Japanese Joey Gallo. Except with less slug. I mean, if it's under 94, yeah, but how fast is a fastball in the MLB? 96, right. So, yeah, enjoy that. Sounds like totally just Joey Gallo all over again. Well, I was okay with the Yankees getting him, but no, Jays. Just keep Bo Bichette, Ernie Clement third, Barger on right, Santander in left. Santander and Lucas in left. If Bo leaves, I guess we take it. Everyone needs an Ohtani, but he ain't Ohtani. Murakami ain't Ohtani. Who's the other Japanese player that somebody wanted? I'm fine with that one this year. Now, that one I'd be good with. But, again, like, unless Bo leaves, there's really no room for Murakami unless you want to just get rid of Ernie Clement, which is stupid. Like, you could be like, but he only has had one good year. Yeah, but no lucky player gets 30 hits in a postseason. He's actually good. With the approach that Popkins gives for the Jays, Clement is very good with that hitting approach. And he's a good fielder. I'm sorry, you can't be lucky and get 30 hits in the postseason. In a single postseason. You can't. I'm sorry. That's impossible. He will be a good player next year. This ain't a one-year wonder. And besides, even if somebody's a one-year wonder, you ain't going to see a one-year wonder get 30 hits in the postseason. Now you're saying, but Randy Arozarena was the guy he overtook. Yeah, Randy Arozarena is not a one-year wonder. He's a good baseball player. Now, of course, he didn't really have it in the playoffs this year. I'm talking about ones who are getting posted, but I wouldn't mind having well, no, Seiya Suzuki wasn't. Masataka Yoshida, he might. Red Sox might get rid of him. I wouldn't mind having Masataka Yoshida. Damn it, pitcher. Seiya Suzuki's the outfielder, pitcher. They got let go by the Cubs. Shota, I would love to have Shota. Shota on the Blue Jays, I would love that. Love it. Okamoto, there we go. Kazuma Okamoto, there we go. That's the one I'm good with. Ojeda and Fernandez for NYCFC 89th minute. I would love to see the Jays get Okamoto. That's the one I was looking at more. Yeah. Yes. But again, then you're playing, like, where exactly are we going to play Ernie Clement? I'm not going to lie. Well, no, nobody's going to take that Jimenez contract. But if we have Bo Bichette, George Springer is still a DH. He can't play left. Ernie can't play left. So that's out of there. Vladdy has to play first. Bo has to play second. Jimenez at short. I guess if Bo and Jimenez have a day off, then you play Clement. Or if Okamoto has a day off, you play Clement. But really, are we going to do this to a guy who got 30 hits in the postseason? Header, 90th minute, how much stoppage time? I don't know. 12 minutes of stoppage time. Oh, no. It's 12 minutes of stoppage time. Hold on to your butts. If Japan doesn't win the World Baseball Classic again, I'll be surprised. I just hope Yoshinobu Yamamoto doesn't pitch against Canada. Pain, be thy name. Pain, thy name is Yoshinobu Yamamoto. Like, here's the sad part about the World Baseball Classic. There's a pitch count. During the knockout stage, I think it's like 80. Yoshinobu Yamamoto could still get a complete game against Canada with 80 pitches. He could. No, I'm not going live for that game. Unless you just want to see me have a PTSD attack live on camera. What if Canada plays Japan at the World Baseball Classic and Yamamoto's starting? You just want me to do that game live so I have a PTSD attack live on camera. Don't you? No. 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 Duke could get a freaking complete game with 85 pitches against Canada. Whether Vladdy's on the team or not. Like, yeah, it's going to be tough. It'll be interesting to see Yamamoto pitch against Freddie Freeman, though. That would be interesting. That one would be interesting. $92 minutes, 10 minutes to go. Or more. Who knows? There we go. Like, I'm interested to see Freddie Freeman versus Yoshinobu Yamamoto. That's like the only thing I'm interested for. Does Freddie Freeman have a better look at Yamamoto because he plays with him on the Dodgers? Like, does he have a better look at him? But it's still going to be what? 12-2? Freddie Freeman, Josh Naylor gets on base and Freddie Freeman hits a 2-run homer. Freddie Freeman hits a huge 2-run homer to cut the lead to 12-2 off of Yoshinobu Yamamoto at the World Baseball Classic. Canada are way... I didn't say they were better. I was just saying if they play Japan during the knockout stage, I was joking about the fact that if we see Yamamoto, I'm going to have some PTSD. after the World Series. I don't think I want to see Yamamoto pitch against one of my teams ever again, whether that be Canada or Italy. Let's not forget about that. Or the Jays. I don't want to see it. I don't. During a meaningful knockout game? Hell no. You know that's only going one way. Yoshinobu Yamamoto wins. The Dragon. The Dragon, Yoshinobu Yamamoto. 94th minute. That's a perfect nickname for him because he is. Dude breathes fire. It's it. Why? I think Canada has some talent. And if Vladdy joins them, and by the way, like them playing Japan in the knockout stage probably also precludes the fact that Vladdy could play for Canada and he would choose to play for Canada after what happened with the Jays playoff run. Like he plays for Canada because of the playoff run. Because he can, because he was born in Montreal. He could play, he is Canadian. He is actually Canadian. If he plays for Canada, we might. Josh Naylor, Bo Naylor, Freddie Freeman, Jamison Tyone, Vladdy Jr., Desan Brown. Playing forward. Header. Damn it, who else am I forgetting? There's some really good Canadian players in the MLB right now. Oh, caught. I think there's a guy on the Cubs who's Canadian. I think. But either way. Basically, if Vladdy plays for Canada, I could see Canada getting out of the group stage. The pool play. If not, probably not. Even with Freddie and Josh Naylor and Bo Naylor and all that. Probably not. But they got some talent. They got some talent. I wish Buffalo counted as Canada. I wish Rochester counted as Canada. Then we could have Ernie Clement on Canada. We got Puerto Rico, Panama, Cuba, and Colombia at Group A. It's San Juan. We could beat a couple of those teams. Puerto Rico's going to be tough, but I could see Canada beating Cuba. Even if they get some MLB players. Colombia, I could see Canada beating. Panama, I could see them beating Panama. Panama, Cuba, and Colombia are not unbeatable. Puerto Rico isn't either, but at least they're Puerto Rico. I don't think that's as hard of a group as you really want to put out. Ooh. '98th minute. Looking like NYCFC has this. I wouldn't. '98th minute. I wouldn't say that yet. There's still like 4 minutes to play, if not more, due to that extra injury there. Header. We're going to go to 102 minutes, if not 105. What's the score? 1-2 NYCFC. Tied after stoppage time. We go to penalties if it is tied. Ball crossed in. Header. Oh, no. Thiago Martins puts out for a corner, but he damn near had that as an own goal. It was a bad decision. Freeze would have caught that, and Thiago Martins runs onto it. That was not a good idea. It was not a good idea. I don't exactly know what he was thinking there. That was not a smart play. Not a smart play. Like, it would have got to Freeze. He would have picked that up. Ball crossed in. Header. Shot wide for another corner. And Charlotte's absolutely trying to save their season here. Absolutely trying to save their season here. They have 3 minutes, maybe more. Ever since the Pereira injury, NYCFC's gotten a little bit. They've lost some control on this match. Ball crossed in. Header. Hawk heads it away. Get into the 100th minute. Over the top. Brought down. NYCFC can put this one away. They keep the possession. Wolff has the ball still. Still Wolff. Still. In through. Shot, chip, and a goal! And that's going to do it. Fernandez with 2. With a chip. Good job for Wolff to keep that alive. Pass to Fernandez ends up being the chip that wins them the series. One to 3, 1-3. Good job for Fernandez right there. It's over. Wolff keeps that alive, and Fernandez puts away the dagger 2 times in stoppage time for Fernandez. 2 goals in stoppage time for Fernandez. 1 in first half, 1 in second half. And there you go. Wolff kept that alive. Hannes Wolff kept that alive, and boom. Fernandez with a chip and perfect placement. There you go. Zaha versus Wolff ended up being the matchup, and Wolff won there. Perfect pass. And there you go. Fernandez just puts it over. Man of the match, yep. Won them the tie. Won him the series. He's onside. If Toklamati was, he is. Oh, don't tell me they're going to pull this for offside. And NYCFC have won both games on the road to advance to the next round. If this stands, they have. Very likely so. And Fernandez is off with a sub. They've subbed him off. (102 minute). It is a goal. How much more extra time will be added? Back to Kalina. Tanasevic is on for NYCFC. Playing forward. Headed away. Ooh. Corner for Charlotte. Header, 103rd minute. They're above the stoppage time line. There'll be a goal kick, 13 minutes. Over the top. Playing forward. 104th minute. 14 minutes of football played in this stoppage time. Now it's 12. Foul. Foul. Free kick. Free kick for NYCFC. Free kick, here we go. So, playing over the top, where's the full-time whistle? Has not been called yet. Playing forward. 105th minute. 15 minutes played of stoppage time. And now it's full time. NYCFC advances. They hold on. 1-3 on the night. 1-3 esta noche. They win the series 2-1. Charlotte is eliminated from the playoffs. 1-3 esta noche para NYCFC. NYCFC ganador de serie 2-1. NYCFC avanzar conferencias semifinales contra Philadelphia Union in Philadelphia. They will play Philadelphia in the conference semifinals in Philly the weekend before Thanksgiving, American Thanksgiving. NYCFC have advanced. Charlotte have been eliminated. NYCFC wins both games on the road to knock out Charlotte FC. And that's the first game 3 played. We have 3 more tomorrow, 2 of which that we cover, and then 1 on Sunday. With that being said, NYCFC advanced 3-1 on the night, 1-3, 1-3 esta noche. They win the series 2-1. They'll play Philly. With that being said, if you like this stream, like it, share, subscribe. You know what it is. Tell your friends. Hit that like button. Hit the subscribe button. Hit that bell notification once subscribed. Send some chats on the live streams. Comment on this video. Put this in playlist. Share with friends and family. All that great stuff. I will see you within the hour for the review of this match. And posting it won't take too long. See you soon. There you go. Congratulations, Felicidades NYCFC. Commiserations to Charlotte. They are out. That is 4 teams through. 8 teams left to go. 8 teams left. 4 will advance. 4 will go home. That being said, I'm running. I'm out. Peace. See ya.